Good evening, everyone. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the world is changed. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. Much that once was is lost, for none now live who remember it. One by one, the free lands of Britain fell to the power of the ring. But there were some who resisted. A last alliance of elves and men marched against the armies of Mordor. And on the very slopes of Mount Doom, they fought for the freedom of Middle-earth. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are all going Lord of the Rings today. Elon Musk is dropping Lord of the Rings bombs. I love Lord of the Rings, guys. I cannot be provoked by Lord of the Rings. And it does look like the United Kingdom is ground zero to whatever this is. I'm talking about civil war, global conflict. It's all happening here. And it looks like the United Kingdom is the epicenter. It looks like the United Kingdom is, it looks like the United Kingdom is the, I don't know what better word to say, guys. I think I have to say ground zero. So look, guys, before we get onto this live stream and before we start talking, let me know if I'm wrong with this, guys. But you know the guy Hadush, let me just get this up real quick. You know the guy Hadush who's been like, this whole fucking scenario is insane. And the more I learn about it, the worse it gets. So right, ladies and gentlemen, just please tell me I'm wrong. Can somebody in the comments tell me my understanding of this situation is wrong? I really want somebody now to say, no, Sean, actually that's wrong. This is what's happened. So this guy, Hadush, he was convicted of sexually assaulting, was it 2 children and a woman? Is that right, guys? Tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong in this. He was convicted in the United Kingdom by a court of law for sexually assaulting 2 children and a woman, and as punishment, he's been sent home with £500. Is it, guys? Can somebody please tell me I'm wrong? I don't want to be right now, guys. I don't. But I've just seen. I think it was Googly actually sent me a video of this Hadush, and like the video shows him getting off the plane and Ethiopia, and I'm thinking he's literally just walking off the plane in Ethiopia and like potentially going home. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, right? I put it to you, and look, guys, if you're a foreign criminal, and if you're an international foreign criminal, come to the United Kingdom. You can do things like Hadush did to young girls in this country, and you know what the punishment will be? We'll send you back home with 500 quid in your pocket. Am I right there, guys? Are we living in a clown world? Guys, am I wrong? Can somebody tell me? Somebody please tell me that I'm wrong. I don't even know what I can't believe the words I'm saying right now, guys. So it does turn out that if you commit a crime in the United Kingdom, and this is my understanding, guys, please let me know if I'm wrong. If you commit a crime against young girls in the United Kingdom and women, and you get convicted by a court of law, you now get sent home as a punishment. Tell me again where the deterrent is. I mean, maybe you wanted to go home. So here's the thing, right? So here's the thing for you guys. Seen lots of videos about people who have come here illegally as migrants. I fucking shit you not, guys. Migrants who've come here. I think the video I watched was of Somalians. So Somalians came here as migrants, but they can't get back home because they took their passports when they were coming over, and now they can't get on a flight to get back to Somalia. And they're like, yeah, we just want to go home, but the government won't let us go home. Put these two things together, guys, okay? So listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a migrant in the United Kingdom and the government are not letting you go home, if you go and commit the crimes that Hadush did, we won't send you to prison. We'll give you a nice little monkey in your back pocket and send you home. And a monkey being £500. It just does not make any sense, guys. It doesn't make any sense. Look, guys, I'm all for Elon Musk being a dictator of the United Kingdom right now. I really am. And I totally get everything. I get everything, guys. I do. I totally get his Neuralink company means 666. I totally get, you know, all the deeper esoterical meanings. But right now, I just want somebody to make this stop. And I know this is part of subversion, guys. I do. I wouldn't say I do know what I'm talking about when I talk about subversion, the different phases, the different what you need to do to bring that subversion in. Absolutely insane. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. That's not morning. Good evening, everyone. Or should I say, good luck surviving the day? Should I say that, guys? Should I say that to everyone? Like, should we say that now rather than good morning and good evening? Should we just say, good luck surviving, lads? Good luck surviving. Hey everyone, good morning, good evening. Yeah, good luck. What do you mean good luck? Well, you're in the United Kingdom. You've got people going stabby, rammy. Right, hang on, guys. Let me click some buttons. Do you know what, guys? Before I start on the what time are we on? Right, 6 minutes. Right, before we start on this live stream, guys, make sure. And I know I don't say this enough. Make sure you hit those buttons: like, comment, subscribe, share. You guys know what to do. Right. We're only double streaming now because I've been banned off TikTok, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately, I don't know. Right, let me get some comments. Good morning, Donna. I keep saying morning. Donna Hogan. I keep trying to respond to you on TikTok. You send me messages on TikTok, but I can't respond because of your settings on TikTok. I don't know what that is, but every time I send you a message, it says message not sent. Galloway Raider is saying this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you lose subscribers. Almost 30 minutes late. Galloway Rider, I'm always on at 8 o'clock. I have you know, I've not been late once. And if I am late, do you know what? I'm never late. I don't think I've ever been late. I don't think I have. I'm ex-military, guys. I'm very punctual. You know, if I have a timing to keep to, I start having heart palpitations if I don't think I'm going to meet it. I will always hit timings. Right, guys, there's lots of comments. I'm just going to jump to the bottom. Amir Cricket is saying police and politics were good at keep us in line, but it doesn't. Hang on a minute. But that doesn't keep they in line. And something to know about them, if you let them do what they want, it'll get 100 times worse. Listen, Amir Cricket, I would say we have got 100 times worse already. I'd say we are looking at 1,000 times worse already. Every day you see a picture of gangs. You know the gangs I'm talking about that we're not allowed to talk about, that we're not allowed to say, what connects all these gangs of people that get these young girls and do? I did a video the other day. It almost brought me to tears. I did a video the other day about a girl who survived a grooming gang ordeal and the things they did to her. I'm not going to go into it now, guys. But I played that transcript to my mum. My mum just started crying. My mum started crying. She started having panic attacks. And I think that's what everybody should feel like. And let's not pretend that that's the only case, ladies and gentlemen. And let's not pretend these one-offs, you know the things that people like to do with these things that are not, it's not a knife, it's not spoon. You know the things that people like to do? Let's not pretend that this is a one-off. Because as I'm looking at the news right now, guys, it's looking like 2 a day. It's looking like there's 2 incidents a day. It's just you don't get the mainstream media doesn't report on them as much because you know what? Who cares anymore? We just know it's part and parcel of living in the United Kingdom. Right, guys, the chat's gone wild tonight, guys. Amir Cricket again is saying, Amir Cricket, might I add, Amir Cricket, just like on a nerdy aspect, is your avatar from Soul Blade, like the computer? Is your avatar from Soul Blade? I think your avatar is one of the characters in Soul Blade. Anyway, Soul Blade was a computer game on like the PlayStation 1. So Amir Cricket is saying today is 100 times worse than yesterday, and you didn't stop it. It will be 100 times worse than that. Listen, Amir Cricket, I cannot agree with you more, mate. You're 100% right. I'm going to go back Lord of the Rings, guys. I'm going to go back Lord of the Rings. Before I start this monologue, because I am going to talk about Lord of the Rings again. In Lord of the Rings, there is... do you know what? When I first read this Elon Musk talking about Lord of the Rings, I was like, no, that's not right. But it is actually right. The people of England, the peaceful people of England, not me, guys, not me. I don't identify with the peaceful people of England. The peaceful people of England have had like a peace dividend built off the back of violent men who will do their bidding in foreign lands. That's the reality. When I was in the military, we were taking down bad guys, and these bad guys, a lot of them we would take down. They would have British passports. Their watches would still be set to British time, and they were learning. This one particular case, guys, I've got to be very careful what I say with my words. I mean, I know it's a long time ago, but I've still got NDAs. Do you know what? I think I can say this. Yeah, I can say this. It's open source. So the British military, do you know what, guys? Forget everything I just said. New conversation, all right? The British military, when they were operating in Afghanistan, some of those units allegedly did raids on certain facilities that were teaching people how to build vests. Now, these vests were a very particular type of vest, and this vest you only wear once. It's like a gym vest that, like, every time you wear it, it's no good after the first time you've wore it. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? And allegedly, for entertainment purposes, the people that were found in those bases, those training facilities, those schools, had their watches set to British time and had British passports. So you can kind of understand what they were training and why. Now, before we go about Lord of the Rings, guys, and we're going to go about Lord of the Rings because I love Lord of the Rings. Before we go back to the Lord of the Rings, just consider people coming over the border, people coming over on boats. How do you know what information they've got in their brain? How do you know that if they can go to a supermarket and buy this chemical and this cleaning product and this equipment and make stuff in their own home? How do we know that they can't do that? I would put it to you that when they are worrying about life jackets, then, I mean, we don't even give them a questionnaire, guys. We don't even give them a questionnaire. I think it's funny that in the United States, they have a questionnaire. And it's like, are you affiliated to terrorists or whatever? And you have to tick no. And people were joking that, oh, God, look how easy it is to get into the United States. You just tick these boxes. No, I'm not a terrorist. Yeah, that's funny, right? Yeah. Reality check, sweet cheeks. We don't even have a questionnaire in the United Kingdom. So there, go figure, guys. Go figure. So listen, guys, I am going to go Lord of the Rings right now. In fact, let me jump down. I'll get the last couple of comments. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Where are we? Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, okay. The United Kingdom right now is bonkers. It really is bonkers. We have a threat, an internal threat, and it's real. You guys can see it. You can feel it. You can feel it in the air. You can feel it in the water. You can feel it in the earth. Everywhere you go, people are talking about it. That is reality. And I think, I think the normal daily greeting in the United Kingdom shouldn't be good morning or good evening. It's like, good luck surviving the day. And that's what it should be, guys. That's what it should be. That is what it should be. So let's go back to Lord of the Rings. So for those people who saw Elon Musk's post earlier, where he's referring to the peaceful folk of Britain, of England, which is what Tolkien wrote, the Hobbits, the peaceful folk. What the peaceful folk of England and Britain didn't understand was they have been protected ridiculously by the hardened men, which I would identify as the hardened men who've gone to foreign lands and protected them. Rather than wait till those battles came to their shores, they've gone to their countries and dismantled their capacity. And that's what I did for a long time, guys, while I was in the military. And those people who've never seen war, those people who've never seen the enemy that we're facing have no concept of it because they've never seen it. They get cognitive dissonance. How many times, guys, look, how many times, if you live near, how many times have you heard this, guys, okay? Keep the nose out of other people's business, no to do with it. How many times have you heard that, guys? Literally, how many times have you heard that? It's unbelievable. It's quite scary. And that's where we are right now, guys, okay? So we have a split. We have so many splits in society in the United Kingdom. We have the peaceful folk who think that everybody's peaceful. Let me warn you, guys. Not everybody's peaceful. Some people just want to see the world burn. That's the reality. That's the world we live in. Some other people, like me, who have seen these terrors, I've seen the worst things imaginable, guys, that humans can do to other humans. And it's dark. It is, it's dark. But when I'm telling you guys that we are saturated now in the United Kingdom and the inevitable is coming, you guys best take notice because I am right. I tell you guys, I am right. So look, guys, I'm going to go Lord of the Rings now. So I just went Lord of the Rings. Let me monologue, okay? Let me monologue. So good evening, everyone, or should I say good luck surviving the day. So it's Wednesday, the 29th of October, 2025. And if you've not looked on X yet, strap in, ladies and gentlemen, because Elon Musk, the man, look, guys, I welcome Elon as a dictator of the United Kingdom. Elon Musk, the man who owns the platform, the rockets, and apparently our collective doom scroll, just lit a match under the nation's nerves. Civil war in Britain is inevitable, just a question of when. That's not my words, ladies and gentlemen. That is not my words. That's what Elon said. So for you guys, everybody who's trying to get me done, everybody who wants to Lucy Conley me, I'm sloping these shoulders, guys. I'm sloping them. Go make it with Elon. I'm just repeating what he said. So, civil war in the United Kingdom is inevitable, just a question of time. That's Elon, not me, guys. With his what does he have? Like 220 something million followers. Dropping that bomb at like what time was it this morning? Like I don't know. Before 9 o'clock, definitely. UK time. And it gets darker, ladies and gentlemen. It does. It gets darker. He says the war already began several years ago, but only the other side was fighting. So there you have it, guys. Like, and look, that's what Elon Musk said, okay? Like, you guys go on. It's not me, it's Elon Musk. So you guys go quote him. So let's just consider this. Let's just consider that we are in a civil war right now. just consider that ground zero's already been declared. Let's just consider that you've just not been told that you have an enemy fighting against you. You've just not been told that the enemy is coming. You know what's the you know, Lord of the Rings, what's the city? Not Minas Tirith, outside Minas Tirith. Somebody tell me out here, what's the city? I can't remember. But you've got the city just outside Minas Tirith where they're shipping in orcs all the time, and they're doing it slowly at night time, and they're shipping them in, and they have to go out there and fight the orcs. That's where we are, guys. That is where we are. I don't think we've seen our champion yet. I mean, I know Elon Musk mentions Tommy Robinson. Look, and I'm not taking anything away from, you know, Tommy Robinson. He's not the champion. He's one of them. He's certainly a general. I think the champion is yet to emerge. I don't know who it's going to be. It could be a politician. It could be Rupert Lowe. It could be someone. But somebody will emerge as a leader. Somebody will say, you know what, this is bullshit. We're going for this. And that will happen, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to happen pretty soon. You know, guys, this is not Elon's first rodeo. If you guys can remember back in 2024, you know, when the riots were, the riots, I was reporting them. Today, guys, though, it's tied to a gut-wrenching story, which is what a lot of these posts have been about. There was a man out walking his dog in London, stabbed to death by an Afghan migrant. That's the reality, guys. You know, that is mainstream media reporting on that. The BBC, Sky News, everybody's reporting on that. So I don't have to say that's speculation. That is not speculation. The footage is dark. The footage is disgusting. The footage is... what's the word I can use? If you guys have seen the footage of this guy going neck, ribs, kidney, heart, neck, ribs, kidney, heart, that's where we are right now, guys. And you know those peaceful hobbits? You know the peaceful hobbits, the Shire folk, who don't really want to talk to the Rangers from the north because they're a strange bunch. Those Rangers from the north don't really welcome them round here. And you're like, okay, that's fine. You don't want to welcome the Rangers from the north who are protecting you. That's fine. We'll stay in the thickets. We'll stay in the woodlands. We'll stay in the open ground. We'll stay in the dead ground. We'll stay in the woods. We'll stay in the open countryside. But we will protect you. Whether you like it or not, we will protect you. Whether you like us or not, we will protect you. Protected by those they fear. You know, and the more this goes on, the more of these people, more people are going to understand what the problem is. I'm saying this: if you're a peaceful hobbit, and your go-to in life is don't stick your nose into other people's business, no to do with it, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. If that's your way of life, I respect that. It's not my way of life. I will jump in the deep end, not even knowing what water is. I will jump in that deep end and I'll make that water my bitch. And you know what? I'll make the water get out. I'll be that powerful. And there are more people like me. These people, these peaceful hobbits, need to just understand what's coming. You know, people really do. People really need to understand what's coming. So anyway, guys, listen, this was all in all this spat on X. It's all been in response to the stabbing of the man in London by the Afghan migrant. The footage is wild, guys. The footage is wild. Look, ladies and gentlemen, like if you're on right now, if you're on, please put this in the chat in the comments. If I share my stuff, guys, like, comment, subscribe, bell notifications, like, hit the buttons, guys. Come on, help me out. Help a brother out. Help a brother out, fam. seen that footage, so if you've seen that footage, imagine how you would react if that was happening right in front of you, right now. You're in Tesco's, you're in Asda, every little helps. I don't know, wherever you go shopping, whatever, supermarket, whatever. You know, imagine that is happening right in front of you right now. And let's not pretend it's not going to happen, guys, because these are not one-off incidents anymore, are they? It's like every day you seem to have 2 incidents. Is it a stabby, rammy, girly, you know, and by girly, I mean like, and it's not even girly, it's fucking childy. Some sick shit's happening, guys. Some sick shit is happening. How would you react to that? I know how I'd react. All hell would break loose. Like literally all hell would break loose. I like, you know, I would literally, like, if I saw that happening, I'm not even gonna mention that. But that's why everything's kicked off today, guys. Okay. So the footage has gone viral of this, you know, the Afghan. I think it should go viral. I think earlier on the live stream, and I will stand by what I said earlier on. You know, if you want to go watch that footage, go watch that footage. If you don't want to go watch that footage, don't watch that footage. You don't need to see that footage, or maybe you do. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know if more people need to see what's coming. You know, I wish, and I don't wish. This is when, you know, when you have that information, I kind of like wish everybody could see a stoning where they get a woman and bury her and throw things at her head. But I also wish nobody could see a stoning, because you see where I'm going, guys. It's fucking crazy. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, because if you're a foreign criminal, are you a foreign criminal worried about the crimes you've committed in your country? Don't worry, come to the United Kingdom. We'll put you up in a four-star hotel, potentially a stately home or a castle. We'll give you 3 meals a day. And if you decide to commit a crime in our country, don't worry, we'll just return you home with £500 in your pocket. Yeah, guys, I'm laughing, but it's not funny. So anyway, guys, so the post and the X, everything is all being around, you know, it's all being around what's been happening in the United Kingdom. The people going stabby, you know, stabby, and the footage that was shared. Do you know what, guys? Actually, no, I'm going to go back on what I said. I think people need to see. I think the truth. Do you know what, bollocks? You know, guys, I'm scratch whatever I've said before. I think the truth should be seen. I think people need to know the truth. I think the truth should be let out there. Do you know what? Yeah, of course I do. How gay of me? Was I going gay? Maybe it's because I've not eaten for 2 days, but I may be a little bit gay there. Yeah, people need to see the truth, guys. You need to see the truth. And if you're angry, I can guarantee you're not angry enough. And if you're not angry, you need to see the footage. So anyway. So Elon Musk today, guys, he invoked Lord of the Rings. And as soon as he did that, I'm like, oh, fucking hell, Elon. Why are you invoking Lord of the Rings? I love Lord of the Rings. Fucking love it. Look, guys, I'm not going to lie. Christmas, summer holidays, until the time, Christmas, summer holidays, I will do Lord of the Rings, the full 12 hours, 48 minutes, director's cut. I'll do them in a wanna. Guys, because that's how I roll. Lord of the Rings is fucking awesome. So much in Lord of the Rings, guys. It's fantastic. Anyway, so Elon Musk today, guys, he invoked Lord of the Rings. He did. He went, you know, he went full hobbits. He went full hobbits. So when Tolkien wrote about, this is what Elon Musk says, guys. I'm putting quotation marks. Anybody who wants to call me out, this is Elon Musk. When Tolkien wrote about the hobbits, which is in Lord of the Rings, obviously, he meant the gentle, English shires. And they are, guys. They're fucking beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful. So you know where I grew up? In Yorkshire. And I do, guys. I get such an affinity when he mentions this. I grew up in the countryside. You know, the gentle English shires. Watching the summer barley change. Watching people play cricket. Peaceful and happy. That's how I grew up, guys. I promise you I did. I think I've got more, honestly, guys, I think I've got more to I think I've got more in common with Aragon than you think. You know. So anyway, sorry guys. So you know, when Tolkien wrote about the Hobbits, he was talking about this is what Elon Musk is saying. He was talking about the gentle English shires, beautiful places, guys. Honestly, like if you're not from the United Kingdom and you come to the United Kingdom and you go to a big city, that's not England. Trust me, that is not England. It's not. That is not England. The big cities are not England. England is the gentle English shires. Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, all the shires. Leicestershire, every shire. That is England, guys. That is England. You go to these places, and it is not what you see in these cities. It's nothing remotely like what you see in these big cities. It's beautiful, guys. It is beautiful. It's a hill worth dying on. Trust me. So he was talking about the English shires, you know. But what he also said is, and I'm quoting him here: they are protected like men like Tommy Robinson. And look, guys, I'm not saying anything negative about Tommy. What I am saying is I've stopped more attacks on this country than, do you know what? Maybe I don't know if I have or not, actually. Do you know what? You know what? I'll say I've stopped a lot of attacks on this country myself. In foreign lands, like if you guys were watching the beginning of the live stream, which I was talking about going into certain buildings, locations, missions, and you're finding things, and they're like, oh, hang on a minute, you've got a British passport, you're learning how to make these vests. All right, okay. Well, that's not a good thing. That's suboptimum. That is a suboptimal. That's a suboptimum outcome for people in Britain. So Elon Musk has been, you know, he's been Tommy Robinson's cheerleader. You know, he's been a cheerleader before, and you know, you've got to understand that Elon Musk's nana. Let me Google this actually. I think Elon Musk's nana was British. Yeah. So Elon Musk has, yeah, I was right. I'm always right, guys. I'm always right. What, like, why do I even question myself? Elon Musk has British family connections through his parental grandmother, Cora Robinson, who was born in Liverpool. Calm down, lad. Hey, Elon, you're gonna move to South Africa, like. Her family later moved to South Africa when she married Elon's father, Errol Musk. His father is also a British descendant, having moved from England to South Africa in the early 1900s. So Elon Musk has an affinity with the United Kingdom, with Britain, with England. Of course. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't mean to be like a douche. England is the crucible of modern civilization. England is the crucible of the civilized world. And we're being overrun right now, guys. That is the reality. So let's not forget, guys, as well. I'm going to jump onto the chat in a second. Let's not forget that, remember when this Unite the Kingdom rally happened, and like Elon, I missed it, didn't I? I was covering it, and I went into the house for a coffee or whatever, and I came back out, and I'm like, oh yeah, just missed Elon Musk. What a douche. you know, what he said to the 1 million or 3 million people that arrived in London was, you need to fight for your survival. Violence is upon you. You fight or you die. That's what Elon Musk said, guys. So anybody who's watching me, anyone who wants to come in, I'm just quoting Elon Musk. Right, I'm going to jump into the chat, guys, because the chat's crackers. Donna Hogan, hello, Donna Hogan, is saying, independent, US withdrawing some troops from Europe after Trump's warning to NATO allies. Yeah, exactly, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we've been talking about. The United Kingdom are going to take the lead in Europe against the Russians. We do not, you know, that is happening. It's here. You can see it. Donna Hogan's just emphasizing. Googleino is saying, this is why Sean can't be the defense minister. I don't know. Maybe I could be the defense minister. I think I could be the defense minister, guys. I do. Maybe I'd just be the war. Could I be the war minister? Could I be the war minister? Could I be the king? Could I be Raven, King of Men? Because I do think I would. I do think that England should expand and consider attacking. No, I'm not even going to say that. Sorry, hang on, guys. Let me get these comments. The chat's going crazy, guys. You guys are fantastic. Silly Galardi said, my beautiful friends got to do my mummy taxi duet. Oh, okay. Silly, I've only seen your. This is the first comment I've seen. I do apologize, Silly. Look, guys, I've been monologuing for a while. I've been monologuing for 36 minutes. I do apologize, guys. I'll get some of the chat now. We'll talk about what's been happening. But look, guys, does look like the United Kingdom is ground zero. Does look like civil war is inevitable any day. Look, from my experience, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's vast. From my experience, when these things happen, they happen fast. At one point, you've got nothing. Like, you know, I've said this to you guys many times. You wake up on Monday morning, everything's going to be fine. Everything is awesome. Everything is fun when you're part of a team. Everything is all. You're going to literally wake up like that. You're going to go to bed on Friday. You're going to be like that. Oh, what just happened? What just happened? What just happened? That's how quick it will happen. You know, people who think that it's going to be pussyfoot, that's not how it happens, guys. Go and speak to anyone who's lived through a civil war. There's not many people now. These things happen quick. It's going to be quick. It's going to be violent, and it will be a lot, and it will be protracted. By protracted, I mean it will last a while. Guys, I'm going to jump to the bottom of the comments. Chris White is saying undetectable from detectors. Right, Chris White. I don't know what that means, buddy. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Sharon Owen is saying, I'm taking full responsibility as a chat because I told Sean about Elon quoting Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Sharon, you did. So Sharon Owen this morning, she quoted, she said, Sean, Elon Musk has quoted Lord of the Rings. And I was like, by the beard of Zeus. Look, guys, I'm not, I can confidently, you know, I can confidently recite the whole of Lord of the Rings, you know. I can recite the whole thing. It's the most fantastic movie that's ever been developed. There's ever been. We are never gonna get another Lord of the Rings, guys. And I am, you know how Aragorn was a ranger from the north, the last of the Dunedain, the last of the men of Gondor, protecting the Shirelings without them knowing. Didn't he have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful black flowing hair, beautiful blue eyes? I think he was about 6'1" as well. You know, fantastic, fantastic shape. Just remember, guys, much that once was is lost. For now, and none who now live remember it. It did, guys. It began with the forging of the rings. 3 were given to the elves, immortal and wisest and fairest of all beings. 7 to the dwarf lords, great miners and craftsmen of the mountain halls. And 9 were gifted to the race of men who above all else desire power. For within these rings was bound the strength and will to govern each race. But they were all of them deceived. For another ring was made, deep in the land of Mordor, in the fires of Mount Doom, the Dark Lord Sauron forged a master ring, and into this ring he poured his cruelty and his malice and his will to dominate all life. It happened, guys. It really happened. One ring to rule them all. One by one, the free lands of Middle Earth, or Middle Britain, fell to the power of the ring. But there were some who resisted. A final alliance of men and elves marched against the armies of Mordor, and on the very slopes of Mount Doom, they fought for the freedom of Middle Earth. That's how it goes, guys. Don't quote me Lord of the Rings and then expect me not to say anything. My precious! I mean, my precious is kind of like Keir Starmer's digital ID, isn't it? You can imagine Keir Starmer with his digital ID going, my precious! Like, where's my phone? I don't even know where my phone is. Let's pretend this placemat's my phone. This is not my phone, guys. It's a placemat. You can imagine Keir Starmer going, my precious digital ID. That's where we're going, guys. That is where we're going. We are going universal basic income. We are going digital ID. We are going total artificial intelligence. What's the word I'm looking for? Regulated. Linda Clark is saying, is this our bedtime story? Been years since anyone read to me a bedtime. No, guys, look, ladies and gentlemen, look, guys, I cannot help myself. I'm not going to lie. I cannot help myself going Lord of the Rings. People invoke Lord of the Rings. I'll go crackers, guys. I will go crackers. I'll go crackers. I get so emotional. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me jump back. Actually. Oh, hang on a minute. Google it is saying, sorry, Googlino is saying Ukrainian forces are struggling to fend off intensifying Russian advances around the eastern city of Pokrovsk. The military and open source analysis said on Wednesday. Yeah, look, ladies and gentlemen, okay? If we're talking about Ukraine, if we're talking about global conflict on an industrial scale, I promise you guys, I will tell you what, I'm not interested in what's happening now. I will tell you with almost 100% hit rate what's going to be happening in 3, 6, 9 months time. How many times have I, you know, when like people jump up and they're telling me, they said, oh, Sean, the Russians are done. The Russians are over. The Russians are on the, I'm like, no, they're not a chance. Not a chance. Like, I get my information from more credible sources than the mainstream media. As in people who are actually, in fact, wait, hang on, guys. Let me try and find my phone. I'll finish this comment actually. I'll get my phone because I'm waiting for a message as an update. So when I tell you guys that the Ukrainians can't hold the Russians back, and when I tell you guys that NATO without the United States can't hold the Russians back, just believe me, guys. Just believe me. That's the reality. It's a numbers game, you know, and of course you're going to get these colonels and these generals and these air vice marshals who've done probably nothing with their career apart from say yes. Because that's what happens. You know, they don't know what they're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I do. I really do. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know the nuance. I know the granulation. I know the people. I know the culture. I know the equipment. I can guarantee with almost 100% certainty that you know these generals that come up on the mainstream media and they're saying, oh, we've got this analyst on Sky News and he's colonel, retired. I can guarantee that he doesn't understand Eastern European culture. I can also guarantee he's not drank as much vodka in there as in Eastern Europe as me either. I'm all over the vodka. I'm making some actually now. I've got 100 litres. I'm trying to ferment down to 30 bottles if I'm lucky, but it's not going well. Anyway, do you know what actually might be going well? I've got 1, 2. No, I've got 4 out of 15 litres. And I fucked up on a lot of it. So I do. I might actually get 30 bottles. Anyway, whatever. Let's not worry about my fermentations. So all these people that come up and they're giving you guys analysis and speculate, they don't know what they're talking about. Unless they're saying exactly what I'm saying, they don't know what they're talking about. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Sean, are you going to test the moonshine tonight? Well, it's not actually moonshine. No, I probably won't. So I've turned. Right, guys, I'll answer this and I'll come back. No, I've turned some of it into gin, and I've got two bottles that's like, I think it's 60%. I've got 2 bottles that are at 60% in the fridge. I don't know what to do with them. But no, I'm not going to be testing it tonight, guys, unfortunately. Chris White is saying, to be honest, Sean, you're leaving us, so can't really say anything. Oh, Chris, I'm sorry about that. Chris, give me more context, Chris White. Give me more context. What would you do? I don't know, Chris. Chris, I don't know. If we can get, look, Chris, in fact, where's Chris gone? Chris, if you share my stuff, right? If you share my stuff and we can get some sort of legal framework when the people of the United Kingdom can mount a resistance, I may have to rise up and become the king of men. I may have to rise up and become the king of men. And all men must bow down before me. Every Wednesday I'd have a raven prayer. I'd have raven prayers every Wednesday. Everybody in the United Kingdom would have to bow down, and I'd walk around head high. I say, yeah, everybody's bowed down to me, because I'm the man that rebuilt Britain. I'm the man that brought back the great into Britain. All hail Lord Raven and his affinity. Look, Chris, in all honesty, I don't know whether leaving is the right option. Civil war's coming. It's going to happen quick. I know it's coming. I don't think we're going to leave. We have the option to leave, absolutely. We have the option to leave, absolutely. I don't know if it's going to be a reality. And sometimes when your back's against the wall, you don't know how strong when your back's against the wall, you don't know how strong you can be until you're pushed. Read the comments in emojis. What's the comments in emojis? I don't know what the comments in emojis are. Russia to deploy, Belarus to deploy Russia's arsenic missiles. I don't know what we talk. I don't know what the emojis are here. Is this it? UK Reeves looks to scrap windfall tax on oil and gas industry. Britain's Heathrow Airport reports website issues. And Christine Chambers is saying the Russia-Ukraine war was 2024 started. It's about organ. Christine, I've heard this, all right? I've heard this. 100% I've heard this. And I don't know how to respond to this, Christine. From my position when I used to work in Ukraine in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and I go back there as much as I can, I would have, I don't want to give I would have been in a position to get a sniff of this. I would have heard something. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not. Absolutely, I'm not saying it's not true. What I'm saying is I've not heard anything, and I promise you I'd tell you. Because that sort of shit breaks me. A lot of the people who've been implicated, I know them. Oh, fucking hell. I'm dropping myself in it. A lot of the people that have been implicated, I know them. I'll give you my honest opinion, guys. The people that have been implicated, and I know them, this is me. I don't think I think this is propaganda. I do. I may be wrong. Guys. I may be wrong. A lot of the people that have been implicated, a lot of them I've got on WhatsApp. I think this is propaganda. I really do. Some people who I know and I class as friends, again, if they are implicated, I would say, like, take those guys down. I don't think they are. I really don't. I think this is a propaganda scam. I really do. I think what's happened here is I think people, and again, guys, I may be wrong. Please correct me if you've got evidence, but I have looked deep and hard for this and I can't find anything. I think what this is a near-peer adversary finding something in the zeitgeist, taking a kernel of truth, manipulating it, and throwing that back out there to cast doubt and cast legitimacy. That's what I think it is, guys. Please, that's what that's my thoughts on that. Right, oh, hang on. And Googleino over on YouTube is saying, "What a fantastic thumbnail, actually, Googleino. I've only just noticed that. That is a beautiful cat with green. There's a beautiful green cat. I love green cats, guys. I love a good green pussy." Googleino is saying, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Googleino is saying Putin said that Russia has successfully tested the Poseidon. Yeah, okay, yeah. So Putin has said they have successfully tested the Poseidon nuclear-powered super torpedo that military analysts say is capable of devastating coastal regions by triggering vast radioactive oceans walls. Yeah. Yeah. This is a threat. This is a threat. This is an absolute threat. So for those of you guys who don't know, the Poseidon missile is basically an underwater nuclear-powered drone with a nuclear weapon. So it's basically a nuclear weapon that navigates its way under the oceans, under the seas, and goes wherever it wants. Because it's a drone and it's nuclear-powered, it may need to surface every like 200 years or something. Yeah, so it doesn't need to resurface. So once those things are under the water, and I would speculate, and again, it's totally up to you guys, I would speculate if it was me and I was the Russians, I would try and get one of these as close as I could to Grimsby and as close as I could to Blackpool. Why? Because if you detonate those bombs, one at Grimsby, one at Blackpool at the same time, you're going to cause a tidal wave, and you are just going to, like, those waves are going to, those radioactive waves, I'll be done. Those radioactive waves are just going to come, they're going to move in shore, and they're going to flatten everything in shore. The proposed distances of this, I'm a little bit dubious of how far these waves would come inland, but certainly they would come inland a long way. Oh no, Footlong is saying I live near Blackpool. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe you need to start thinking about time to moving away from Blackpool. Right, guys, let's continue. Guys. Okay, so we've been talking about the United Kingdom, ground zero. We've been talking about civil war. I've been saying to you guys that when it happens, it will happen fast, and that is the truth. When these things happen, they do happen fast. Like, You wake up one morning and there's nothing, and then you go to bed in a couple of days' time and you're like, wow, what just happened? Literally, what just happened? Contextually today, guys, Elon must be quoting a lot of Lord of the Rings if he said about the peaceful English folk. And if you're a peaceful English folk, that's absolutely fine. You know, there's one guy I'm thinking of now. All he does, he just goes to the pub. He goes to the pub, gets drunk, and goes home. That's his life. He wakes up in the morning, goes to the pub, goes drunk. That's his life. You know, if that's your life, absolutely fine. If I went and talked to him and said, "Listen, mate, do you know what it's that? Do you know what? It's actually a better analogy than I even considered." Like I called it, yeah. So you know that guy that goes to work every morning, 8 o'clock or whatever, finishes at, I don't know, 4. You know, he works at 9 till 5. You know, what a way to make a living. He goes to work 9 till 5. He comes home, straight to the pub, few pints, bed. Friday, he finishes work, goes to the pub, same pub, few more pints, staggers home, bed. Gets up Saturday, goes to the pub, more pints, staggers home, bed. Gets up Sunday, goes to the pub, has a Sunday dinner, few more pints, staggers home, goes to bed, wakes up Monday morning, and repeat. They're the hobbits. They are the hobbits, guys. And I mean, no disrespect, but like, you've got your place in society, you've got your place in humanity. You're the hobbit population, you know. Those that we all hold dear. I'm not that population. I'm the part of the population who's in like foreign countries, like abseiling out of helicopters and, you know, doing parachute jumps on, you know, places I can't even talk about, fast roping onto the top of buildings. If I was to tell that guy and go and talk to that guy, he wouldn't believe me. Honestly, guys, I've done it before. I've tried to, you know, if you try and talk to some people and tell them what you know and what you've done, they don't believe you. So I totally get Aragorn. You know when he's where you meet him in the Prancing Pony, and he's in the corner on his pipe. Where's my kid? Not my kid. And he's in the corner on his pipe. Don't talk to them rangers. They're strange folk. They're rangers. Don't talk to them. And he sat there in the pipe. Cool as fuck. Cool, just cool. Smoking his pipe like a boss. I wouldn't be able to talk to the normal person about what I've seen and what I've witnessed in the Middle East. They just wouldn't believe me. Because their reality has no concept of doing stuff to kids or taking these things off. It's got no concept of that. And if I was to tell him, I'm the bad guy. You know, like if you was to tell a hobbit that the orcs are coming and they want to taste man flesh, those rangers are saying those orcs are coming and they want to taste man flesh. Well, I tells him, we're not men, we're hobbitses. And as hobbitses, we've been very lucky in keeping our nose out of trouble. You know, it's a fantastic analogy. It really is a fantastic analogy. You know, at some point, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have to start, you know, at some point, we are going to have to start encouraging and emboldening strong men. That's the reality. Let's not forget, guys, listen, I think, and the guys, I did a quick search on this earlier on. I think, okay, Elon Musk has called civil war in the United Kingdom inevitable 6 times since the first time he did it was October 2023. America should liberate Britain from tyranny. Do you think that's the case, guys? Do you think that's going to happen? I do. How long have I been saying that? Literally, how long have I been saying that? I think America's going to come. It's not going to be soon. We've got a whole load of shit to happen. But I do think the Americans are going to come. I do think we're going to have an American takeover. I do think the United Kingdom is going to become part of the United States. And I think we're going to have this new world order whereby you've got China, Russia, Europe, maybe even Scandinavia. That's going to be one block controlled by the Chinese. And then you're going to have this other block, which is going to be America, Canada, Greenland, Britain, Antarctica, Israel, Australia, and New Zealand. And I'm going to throw into this as well Israel and Israel and Japan. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I need a wee. I really do, guys. I need a wee. Listen, we're at an hour. I'm going to go and have a wee. I'm going to come back. Is it Friday night? Is it Friday? I don't know. I may get a carbonated drink. I'm going to go and have a wee, guys. I'm going to come back. Can you guys hold there because I'm absolutely dying. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. I just caught a glimpse of the moon outside, guys, and it is pretty epic tonight. The moon is pretty epic. It's phenomenal. Right, guys, I'm going to get some of the questions on the chat. Oh, hang on. So, okay, I don't know what that's in response to. Band again is saying guerrilla war in the UK, cut off food and water, supplies to city, and Muzzy's strongholds. Yeah. Look, I do think guerrilla wars come in. We talk about civil war. People talk, everybody, oh, it's going to be civil war. Yeah, I know what people are saying, but a civil war would be where there's two sides. There's us versus them. These guys want X, Y, Z. These guys want A, B, and C. They're going to have a fight, and the winner gets the rule. That's not what's coming, guys. That is not what's coming. We have got so many factions, so many different the society, so many different fissures. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be more like to Northern Ireland in 1960, whatever it was. That is where we're looking at, but on absolute steroids. That's where we're going at the moment. Golfman22 is saying, Sean, are there any lightweight protective vests that we can buy and wear from? Protection from what? So Golfman is saying protective vests, like what do you want to be protected from? Like, you can get what is it? You can get the arm, you can get the protective vest. I think the best one is like a dragon skin. Dragon skin's really expensive, like ridiculously expensive. I used to have a dragon skin body armor, like really expensive. But like, what do you want to be protected from? Like, if you want to be protected from 50 cal, nothing's going to protect you from 50 cal. If you get protection from 50 cal, it will push that body armor plate through your body. It will, guys. Trust me, I've seen it. So best case scenario, you're looking at protection from blast wounds and from 7.62. At 7.62, it's still a pretty harsh bash. If you got to remember, when you're getting hit by this, that kinetic energy doesn't stop. That kinetic energy just pushes the plate. Yeah, there are lightweight vests, but I wouldn't bother wasting my money on them. I really wouldn't. I would bother wasting my money on, well, I wouldn't waste my money on anything, actually. If you want to spend your money, spend it in training. Go on a trauma management course, go on a hostile environment. What is it? Heat. Hostile environment. Heat. Somebody help me out here. I used to teach this. Hostile environment awareness training. I think that would be a good thing for the United Kingdom. So if you go, there's quite a few in Hereford. I used to run in various places. So if you guys want to spend your money on something, I wouldn't. I'm not affiliated to any of these companies. I'm not going to mention any companies, but if you guys want to go and search like a hostile environment awareness training course, those things will do you better than buying kit and equipment. If you live in the United Kingdom, I don't think the threat's going to be from gunshots. I think it's going to you get stabby and rammy. Unfortunately, if you've watched the video of the Afghan guy, he's going body armor wouldn't help there, guys. Body armor wouldn't help. Linda Clark is Golfman is saying stab-proof vest. I wouldn't bother, mate. I really wouldn't bother. Get yourself some chainmail. Like with all these bits of kit and equipment, you have to wear them all the time, or don't wear them at all. You're never going to wear it all the time, so don't waste your money. Just don't be there. Right, we're all, yeah, look. Okay, look, guys, I wouldn't recommend anybody buys any of this kit and equipment. You know, I think it's all a fad. It's all fake. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. No, I will. When I used to work as a contractor in Iraq, I was that disenchanted with the body armor. I just used to put I had a nuts magazine in the front and a loaded magazine in the back, because, you know, I would rather be able to run fast than have this big heavy plate on my chest. Look, that's my personal preference. Hang on. Let me jump up here, guys. The chat's going crazy at the moment. The chat's going crazy. Oh, hang on a minute. Donna's coming out with some pearls here, guys. 4 major things preppers should hold and have. Water, yeah, I agree. Rice, okay. Dried beans and a source of light. Everything else you can forage off the land. What about cider, Donna? What about cider and vodka? I'm going to try and get a cider out now, guys. I'm going to get, I've got a glass here. I've got a glass. I'm going to go in the fridge. This is going to be the first attempt at my batch of cider that I bottled. So for you guys who know, I had cider on the keg. I'm going to try the cider out of the bottle. Honestly, guys, I don't know what it's going to turn out like. It's in wine bottles, but it is cider. Give me a second. Now you can see that's not quite cleared, has it? That's not quite cleared, but we're still going to go. What I'm judging on is flavor and carbonation. So let's see. Be quiet, guys. Let's see if we can listen to it. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's going. Can you see that? That is your shit. Yeah, that's too fizzy. Jesus Christ, look at that. That's gone crazy. Jesus. Wow. Jesus Christ. Right, I'm going to have to put that back in the fridge. I did not expect that to happen. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm going to have to put that back in the fridge, guys. That is gone absolutely crackers. Look at it. Jesus. Huh. Okay, so I wasn't expecting that. I won't be having a cider. Huh. Okay, right. Let's not worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I'll just have to turn it all into apple brandy. Who knows? Right, let me get some more questions, guys, and comments. James is saying, "Oh no, Sean, trying the moonshine. Thank the Lord he doesn't. Thank the Lord he doesn't smoke. There could be an explosion." No, that wasn't moonshine. That was apple cider. I collected all the apples for myself, and I bashed them up. I feel like I've let myself down now. I've got 30 bottles of that. I don't know what to do with them. Googleino is saying Zaporizhia nuclear. Oh, hang on, I got my phone while I was out there. Zaporizhia nuclear power plant is at risk of explosion. So for those of you guys who don't know, I think Zaporizhia, the nuclear power plant, is the biggest in Europe. Oh, hang on. Okay, so I've just got a message from my friend in Ukraine. So I've just got a message from my friend in Ukraine. He's saying the Ukrainians are disenchanted with the war because there's some people who are just making money off the war and they're not fighting. All they're caring about is making money. And then you've got other people who are just who are genuinely fighting and trying to protect Ukraine. And people, and it's a sense of unfairness. And what he's saying is the last time this happened was 2013, and that's when you had the Maidan revolution. So I've just asked him there, do you feel there could be another revolution in Ukraine? I don't know what that means, Googleino. Googleino, I don't know what that means. From now, he's saying, I want it to be like The Walking Dead. At least everyone knows where they stand. Yeah. Guys, what kind of apocalypse do we want? Is it going to be a zombie apocalypse? Is it going to be an alien apocalypse? Or is it going to be Starmageddon? I think we're heading for Starmageddon, and I don't think Bruce Willis is coming to save us. Googleino's got lots of information here, guys. Regular power was only restored the last week after the longest period of ZMP, which is Zaporizhia, had been disconnected from electricity to drive its cooling systems. What I will say is, when I was actually out in Ukraine in I can't remember what year it was, 14, 15, 16, I don't know what year it was. I was in Donetsk, just as wild as it sounds, I was in Donetsk, and right where the Russians are, and we pulled up to a train track, and the things had come over. We pulled up and we stopped. This train, like a heavy duty train, is going over. These, if any of you guys have ever seen Russian trains, they're a lot bigger. They're a lot bigger than our trains. Yes, it's Russia. We have bigger train. I was looking. And I said to my interpreter, I said, Zhenya. I said, what's in them? He said, what do you mean? I said, what? It was big freight train. I said, what's big containers? I said, what's going over those? And he said, it is cool, Sean. It is cool. I said, cool. He said, yes. I said, oh. I said, where's it going? He said, it's going to Russia. I said, how is it going to Russia? I said, I thought he was in a war with Russia. He says, yes, but Russians steal coal every day. So, the war, a lot of the natural resources are leaving Ukraine and going into Russia to fund that war machine. So, this has been going on a long time. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like I need to go and try that cider again. I feel like I need to go and try that cider again. I really do. Donna is saying, well, come on, if we get nuked, it's definitely going to be a zombie fight. I don't think anybody's going to get nuked. I don't think anybody's going to use nuclear weapons. Guys, I'm going to try this cider again. I'm being totally gay. I'm just going to open it. So it went from semi-clear cider to... Right. I think if I'd have just taken the top off, I think if I'd have just taken the top off, actually. I don't know. How do they make cider without I mean, you can taste apples. It's definitely alcoholic. It's fizzy. The fridge door's open. It tastes like cider. Anyway, look, guys, let's get back to global conflicts, okay? I'll worry about my cider afterwards. Exiled mayor of somewhere I'm not going to try and pronounce, the town next to Zaporizhia, told The Independent he fears nuclear fallout could melt into the groundwater around the plant, contaminate the Dnieper River and the Black Sea. I think that's the least of anybody's problems, guys. Really, I do. I don't think the Russians or the Ukrainians will care about that. That would just be an international disaster and it would be more money. That's the reality, guys. I was on here earlier. We was talking about people, oh, hang on, my friends just messaged me back. James is saying, Sean, did you say you have 30 bottles? Yes, I have 30 bottles. I do. I have 30 bottles. Your car could run on that. No, it's only like it's genuine. It's not moonshine. It's cider. It's all right, actually, I guess. Check the message further up. Evening, Raven and chat. We'll have to catch up later, says Louise Gethin. Okay, hang on. Russia is now a high level of readiness, and to connect it, the power supply from Ukraine must be interrupted. Are we talking about the nuclear power plant there? It's unclear whether Russia has been able to connect the Ukrainian plant to its own network during the 30-day outage. If it did so, it would then have to install a converter to station to synchronize. It may do, or it might just run it into an existing synchronizer, or it may use Ukrainian substations. Look, guys, what I do know is that with nuclear power, you can't turn it off. Once it starts going, you need to use that energy. Look, guys, everybody wants renewables. Everybody wants this new clean energy source. We've had it since the 50s, guys. The future is nuclear. That's it. Let me shut this fridge. You know, the future is nuclear. That's the reality, guys. You know, the future is nuclear, whether it's nuclear nuclear fusion, nuclear fission, it doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter. But nuclear is the future. Nothing else matters, okay? Nuclear, nuclear, nuclear. Once you've turned a nuclear reactor on, it's very difficult to turn it off. You can't just say, yeah, off, because you get some, once you get, okay. Inside a nuclear reactor, you get, you bombard it, you start by bombarding it with atoms. Those atoms, or something like those atoms, or those whatever, you know, they multiply and they hit other atoms, and then those other atoms hit other atoms, and then you get this something called, which is called, what's it called? Is it called critical mass? Basically, once you start a nuclear reactor, it's very difficult to turn it off. The best way to turn it off is just to flood it. That is like the best way to turn it off. You just flood it. But if you flood it, it's very expensive to start it again. Why a lot of nuclear reactors don't want to get turned off, because it's very expensive to start them again. But of course, once they're started, you know, they're producing a lot of energy. There was a company, I can't remember who it was. They wanted to build their nuclear reactors underwater, because if there was a problem, you could just pull a pin and that nuclear reactor would get flooded. So what Google is saying, so what Googleino is saying, he's kind of like a company, what I was just saying, but the power cuts to the cooling system combined with the near collapse of the water supplies thereafter the Russians blew up the dam, guys, look, listen, you guys are on here because I give you guys real-time analysis and speculation, all right? That's how nuclear power systems work. I'm just going to ask my friend in Ukraine, Zaporizhia. It just says he may respond to me, he may not. So Googleino is saying the worst case scenario is that the water will eventually evaporate from the cooling pond and there will be nothing left to cool the nuclear fuel. It's not just the cooling of the nuclear fuel. Again, I don't look, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how Zaporizhia was built, but a lot of these nuclear power plants are built near massive sources of water, because when they go wrong, you want to flood. Hang on, he's got back to me. You want to flood that with lots of water. How do you? I'm spelling Zaporizhia wrong. I've totally spelled that wrong. So when you build these nuclear power plants, the best safety way to do the safest way to do that is just to flood them with water. If there's no water, you can't flood it. If you can't flood it, it's a really bad thing. Louise Gethin is saying, I think all over Europe, they've been closing nuclear power plants. We have a cold winter coming, no doubt. I don't know why this is happening, guys. Listen, I honestly don't know why this is happening. Nuclear is the future. It is. if we get to a stage in the world where we go below, I think it's 400 parts per million of CO2 in the atmosphere, guess what? Plants will start to die. And do you know what happens if plants start to die? They stop producing oxygen. And do you know what happens if plants stop producing oxygen? Yeah, we stop breathing. That's the reality, guys, okay? So I think, I'm talking about 50 to 100 years now, I'm thinking what's going to happen is they're causing this problem now. Let's get rid of all CO2 in the atmosphere. And then in maybe 50 or 100 years' time, they'll say, we're running out of carbon dioxide. Let's have a new carbon dioxide tax to put more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. I think that's coming, guys. I really do. Remember, as a planet, our atmosphere, you know, particles and protons and atoms, they're leaving every day. Millions, billions, trillions of them, you know, they're leaving every day. If we don't keep replenishing that, potentially by carbon dioxide, we're going to have no atmosphere. Yes, of course, it's not going to happen in the next couple of days. It will take time, but it will happen inevitably. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close this. I am going to close this down now, guys. Listen, the crux of this live stream has been an absolute warning. We are in ground zero in the United Kingdom, you know. Lots of people now are talking about civil war coming to the United Kingdom. You cannot, you know, you cannot not feel it. You cannot not see it. You cannot not understand what's coming. You know? And as in the world of Galadriel, the world has changed. You know, I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. And that's the reality. You know, you can feel it in the water. You can feel it in the earth. You can smell it in the air. You know what's coming. And when it happens, guys, it's going to happen quick. There will be nothing, relative peace, and then all of a sudden, all hell's going to break loose. And that is the reality of the situation we're moving forward to. Now, whether you're a hobbit or a man, or, you know, whether you identify as a hobbit, a peaceful English folk, or whether you're one of the Dunedain or the men of the West, it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. And at some point, it's going to get wild. I mean, really, really wild. Look, guys, I think I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to start talking about, you know, like little, I don't know. I don't want to do preparing because I'm pretty, like, I'm probably not the best person to say, like, get these beans and these. I'm totally not that guy. What I think I should do is security. You know what, guys? Bollocks. I'm going to do a hostile environment awareness training course with you guys tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. So, you know, earlier on, I was saying to you guys, somebody asked me if they should buy body armor. And I was like, no, don't buy body armor. Spend your money on awareness. You know, and I said, look, if you can, go to a hostile environment awareness training course. Do you know what, guys? I'm going to give you guys a hostile awareness training course tomorrow, and it's all going to be free. It's all going to be free, guys. And you might, like, if you go to somewhere and you know you might pay $1,000 or something, you know, or your company to pay it for you if you're going to go to a hostile environment. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what? That's how I roll, guys. I got you. Listen, guys, I'm going to close this down now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. You guys have been fantastic. I will be back on tomorrow morning at 10, and have a good evening. What did we say? What did we say? Survive the evening. I hope you guys survive the evening. I'll see you later.